It's a great experience if you want to get your game to a whole new level.
Just after the first session, I got rid of all approach anxiety and any fear of rejection. I felt like I was on cloud 9.
Will really change my life, not only in game but also in my professional career.
You were able to give me my positive critiques and say, good job, you did this, you did that, but this is what you need to improve on. And that's just, and it sounds cliche, but it's not, because it actually really does work.
I read all the books and I studied all the material I could find, but having a coach was 100 times better.
Whatever confidence I liked, this guy really brought it out. I mean, he really expanded my horizons so that I could go up to pretty much everybody. I'd go up to the most gorgeous gal in Hollywood when I was with this guy, and he taught me the approach. And I go up to this gal and I create this whole bunch of tension.
It's like, okay, if you have certain attributes that accentuate you, Artisan's going to find that and accentuate it and show in a way that women can actually notice it. Because guess what, guys? Women can pick up 10 things more than a guy.
This applies not just to women, but this applies with anyone in the world. Business, social skills, friends, anyone.
You do things that you didn't even think were possible. Your friends will look at you and say, what did you just do? And be shocked and be in shock and awe of what happened.
I would say holding people accountable was really good. I think you can't succeed in a program unless you do hold somebody accountable. Because if you're going to a personal trainer, and he says, okay, we'll do what you want. You're gonna, do little weights over here, and you're gonna do, some push-ups over here, and then tell me when you're done. I think you kind of went through each motion and showed each person. And I like using that analogy because I think that's the best way of looking at it. Because just like anything else, this is a muscle. It's the muscle of sociability. You gotta start somewhere. Now, some people, they have certain attributes that are gonna work for them, and you explored that. You allowed someone to, you found their strengths and you found their weaknesses too.
I advise everybody who has problems with confidence, problems with women who, are having a hard time getting a date in this town, which is not the easiest thing. I advise them come to this guy because he'll really show you how every ordinary guy can do it.
Think about this. You're not making just an investment on just any little thing. You're making an investment that's something that's going to affect you throughout your whole life and throughout every interaction that you're going to make from there on in.
And with his guidance, I was able to talk to this girl and get her number, and it worked out really good.
I just really had an unbelievable time. I met this really attractive young woman, and it was great. And so what ended up happening that night was I immediately, after 10 minutes of interacting with women, I got a kiss close.
Next thing you know, you're making out with a girl in a corner, and and two other girls wanted your number that night. So it takes time though. So that's my biggest thing about the program and Artisan's style, and he's not gonna steer you wrong.
This was literally one of the best investments for my future that I've ever made. And this investment is not only gonna affect it's not only for that moment, it's for every interaction that I'm gonna make throughout my whole life. This affects everything that I will ever do.
People who you go out with notice a huge difference in you. I used to have a couple buddies that I go out with, and I was like maybe one or two, didn't really talk that much. But now all of a sudden, I have people call me on a Tuesday at 12 o'clock at night asking me to be their wingman or asking me to give them advice about how to approach a girl. I'm the guy who's in the front, I'm the leader, and with the practice and the skills that Artisan's given me, it's put me in that leadership position that people want to hang out with me.
He will build your foundation and build the house and make it into a mansion.
He helped me bring out that inner confident guy that I was.
And most people believe that practice makes perfect. But with Artisan, perfect practice makes perfection. He goes over the opener, the mid-game, and the close. There's no messing around. If anything needs to be tweaked or anything needs to be said a little differently, they stop it right then and there, and they get you back on track to get your goals.
I would very highly recommend this to anyone if they want to get good with women, if they want to get good with friends, if they just want to be encouraged to do better in any social situations. I would highly encourage this program.